So today I want to talk about why I've been following the story of Theranos.com so much. It's just an amazing story of American capitalism. I think there may even be some sexuality behind it. It's a very, very, very bizarre company story. So this is what I've pieced together from different things that I've read in relation to Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes. And so here's my assessment of the entire Theranos situation. So I think it all started with a angel investor or an investor who basically lived near Elizabeth Holmes and became enamored probably by her looks, maybe a little bit of her disarming personality when she was a teenager. Apparently, this investor met her when she was a teenager, and they probably had some conversations, and she told him that, medically she would love, if someone could do tons of blood tests with just a drop of blood. And so this investor said, "Oh my God, that's a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and invest in you." And he probably did that based on the fact that he was enamored with her and felt that it was a good idea, and given the rest of her, that he wanted to go ahead and invest in her and this idea. What's really bizarre about this is that everyone in medicine, everyone in any way, shape, or form that has anything to do with the medical field has had this concept in mind, okay? But no one has dropped millions of dollars in their laps. I mean, I think major companies have probably been working on this problem for a while, but here it was, this young teenage woman who was, or is attractive, and this investor with a lot of money who wanted to impress her said, "Okay, even though you have no knowledge about any of this, I'm going to go ahead and invest in you and convince a bunch of other people to invest in you as well." And this is where it all started. So I think she ended up going to Stanford and then kind of dropping out, and she has like all these patents that are like not like very great patents. I mean, it's patentable ideas that she had, but nothing like specifically great. And so she had this guy behind her that just kind of kept giving her money, giving her money, giving her money. So then ultimately what happens is delusions begin to occur amongst everyone. And then there's also fear of someone in power. So even though ultimately she didn't really have technology to really show to anyone, she had a ton of money behind her. And so a lot of people that went into her board were like, well, she wouldn't have all these millions of dollars if her ideas hadn't been tested or aren't true in some way. When really all the money came from this investor that became enamored with her when she was basically a teenager. So, no one questioned her because she had all this money. And then finally, once the truth started coming out, it became a runaway train, and people just sort of wanted to ignore the truth. And I think that's ultimately how Theranos began that's where its rise and fall happened. So basically it was an investor who lived near her, who became enamored with this teenage girl, gave her a ton of money for an idea that she had really knew nothing about, and ultimately created one of the biggest fiascos in medical company history. So I think what we learn here is that don't be enamored by the person, be enamored by the idea and the possibility that that idea actually has validity behind it. I mean, perhaps this investor should have gone and asked other people, hey, is anyone else working on this? Where are we on this? But he didn't. Anyways, that's my phone ringing. That's all I have to say. And Theranos, goodbye and good riddance.